Hello everyone. Hope you are all doing fine after a long gap. We'll start a new topic, that is organic chemistry. Okay. I know you have been dealing with organic chemistry from 10th standard onwards, and last year you have studied about the alkanes, alkenes and alkynes. So you know how to name the organic compound, isn't it? The nomenclature, the UPSC nomenclature of organic compound, but still in this lesson also we will be dealing with the nomenclature again. So your topic is the first topic. So starting the organic chemistry, the first chapter is haloalkanes and haloarenes. Now you know what is halo means halogens. Halogens are fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine. And haloalkanes, so you are only dealing with the alkane family, isn't it? Alkanes means what? You know the general formula of alkane is CnH2n plus 2, isn't it? CnH2n plus 2. Now alkanes means CnH2n plus 2. When it comes to halogen, the one hydrogen is replaced by the halogen atom. So the general formula will be CnH2n plus 1, then X. X can be any halogen like fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine. Okay. In the same way, haloarenes. Arenes means what? Benzene. You are mainly dealing with the benzene ring. So in benzene there is X. Okay. So that is aromatic and this is aliphatic. Okay. That's the main difference. And if you want to talk about one more difference, the main difference is in haloalkanes the carbon atom is in an sp3 hybridization. You know what is sp3? Which means all are single bond. Whereas in haloarenes, when we talk about benzene or halobenzenes or substituted benzenes, then this carbon atom is in an sp2 hybridization. You know the difference between sp2 and sp3. sp2 means what? Carbon-carbon double bond, isn't it? So here carbon-carbon double bond is attached to the halogen atom, or the halogen atom is attached to a carbon-carbon double bond. Okay, so that is the main difference. Okay. Now we will see later in detail about this haloarenes. Okay. First we will deal with haloalkanes. Now when you consider the haloalkanes or haloarenes, they have very much applications in our daily life and mainly in medicines. In medical field, it has got a very important wide applications of haloalkanes and haloarenes. And some of the important thing I have written it here. For example, the chlorine, the halogen atom, if it is chlorine, the haloalkane, there is a medicine called as chloramphenicol. And it is produced by this soil microorganism which is used for the typhoid fever. This medicine, this is an antibiotic. Okay, chlorine which contains antibiotic, or the antibiotic which contains chlorine is called as chloramphenicol. Phenol, see, phenicol, that is arene. Phenicol, which is used for the treatment of typhoid fever. Okay, that is natural. The soil microorganisms are produced. This one. Okay. Now second one is, you know, thyroxine, the hormone, the deficiency of iodine, which may cause the goiter. Okay. So this is also related with the iodine, that is a halogen atom iodine. Again, you can synthetically prepare haloalkanes and haloarenes, isn't it? So synthetically halogen compounds like chloroquine or quinine, whatever you can pronounce. So chloroquine is used for the treatment of malaria. Okay. And one more thing, one more compound like fluorinated, some fluorinated compounds is used as a potential blood substitute in the case of surgeries. So this is just an introduction, just to know how much importance this compounds carries. Okay, just one or two, just keep in mind one or two. So just we will straight away start with what is haloalkanes and haloarenes. Okay, now how will you name it? What are the classification? Now what type or what is the nature of the bonding, the carbon halogen bonding, etc. etc. Okay. Now first we will see the classification. Okay. Now the classification of haloalkanes and haloarenes. Okay. Now this chapter we will go very slow. Now once you get a hang of this chapter, now how to go with the hybridization of carbon or the naming, how to name the carbon, because last year you have studied about the simple naming of carbon compounds, isn't it? The simple alkanes, alkenes and alkynes, and I think lowest sum rule also you have studied, but still the practical applications comes here in this in the 12th standard. So we will go this lesson very slow, then by the end of this session you will know how to go with the organic compound, okay, how to like this organic compound, or how to get the organic compound or register the organic chemistry in your mind, okay, and how to reciprocate it, and how the question comes, how we can format questions in organic chemistry, and what is the named reactions. All comes in this chapter itself. So once this chapter is over, you will get that hand, and then the second chapter onwards we can go little quickly. So this chapter we will go very, very slow. Now the first is in classification. Okay, how classification of what haloalkanes and haloarenes. Okay, the first classification is based on the number of halogen atom. It's simple. Now how many halogen atoms are there? Then numbering can be done in that way, and you can classify or you can give the name for that organic compound. For example, in the case of a haloalkanes, see, you know CH4 is methane. It's an alkane, isn't it? Alkane. Now how you represent a haloalkane? This is an alkane. I told you CnH, 2n plus 2 is the alkane, and this is the first member. Now how you go for an haloalkane? The one hydrogen atom is replaced by any of the halogen atom. So what will be the formula comes? CnH2n plus 1 and X, isn't it? So how you will go for this methane? Methane is CH3, isn't it? CH3, and for example if the X is Cl, CH3Cl. See, this is how haloalkanes are produced. One hydrogen atom in alkane is replaced by the halogen atom. Correct? So this is the classification based on number of halogen atom. So here there is only one halogen atom. So it's a monohaloalkane. Isn't it? Monohaloalkane, or how you will go for the IUPAC name? IUPAC name is chloromethane. Isn't it? This is a monohaloalkane. And this IUPAC name is chloromethane. Correct? Now one more example if I want to say, for just for the refreshing your organic chemistry, I will say ethane is C2H6, isn't it? C2H6. Now how will you write chloroethane? How will you write chloroethane? One hydrogen atom is replaced by whom? One of the halogen atom. For example, C2H5Cl. See, it is a monohaloalkane. Got it? So this can be said as chloroethane. Likewise, chloropropane, bromoethane, etc. Iodoethane. Whatever halogen atom is there, you name it like that. Okay, so this is monohalo derivative. Okay, now if you want a dihalogen derivative, how will you write? For example, if this is one carbon atom, now if it is second carbon atom, for example, CH2Cl, CH2Cl. See, there is two halogen atom. So the classification we can say it is a dihalogen derivative because there are two halogen atoms in this. Okay, so this is, you know what is the compound? That is CH2, CH2, Cl, Cl. You know the IUPAC name? 1,2-dichloroethane. Isn't it? 1,2. You know how to naming it, right? To give the number and then the halogen atom 1,2-dichloro, 2 carbon atoms, so it will be ethane. Since it is single bond or alkane, it is 1,2-dichloroethane. Got it? So this is a dichloro derivative. So first it is a monochloro derivative and second is a dichloro derivative. And third you can say a trichloro derivative. Okay. How will you say trichloro derivative? Only you will come up with only 3 halogen atoms, not more than 3. For your point of view, there will be at least, they will ask you 3 chlorine atoms or 3 halogen atoms or a trihalo derivative. For example, CH2X, then CHX and CH2X. For example, if the X is Br, bromine, if I put bromine, see, CH2Br, CHBr, CH2Br. How many halogen atoms are there? 3 halogen atoms are there. So, this classification is trihalogen derivative. How you will name it? 1, 2, 3, tribromopropane, isn't it? You have to put it like this. You have studied like this, isn't it? CH2Br, CHBr and CH2Br. Now, you number it 1, 2, 3. Anyway, numbering is same because from left to right also and from right to left also the numbering is same because all the 3 carbon atoms carries the bromine, isn't it? So, you can number it anyway. So, you can say 1, 2, 3 tribromo. There are 3 carbon atoms, so it is propane. Since it is an alkane, you say it as propane. Simple. Okay. So, that is how you name the nomenclature. The IUPAC nomenclature goes like that. You will see the nomenclature later. Okay. So, this is a classification. The first classification according to the number of halogen atoms. That is, first is a monohalogen derivative, second is a dihalogen derivative, and the third is a trihalogen derivative. That is the first classification. So, the classification based on the number of halogen atom. Got it? Clear? Okay. Now, the second classification is based on the carbon containing the halogen atom. You know, we know that the halogen atom is connecting directly to carbon atom. Okay. You can connect the halogen atom, listen, you can connect the halogen atom with the carbon atom in 2 different ways. One is, you can connect the halogen atom with an sp3 hybridized carbon. Listen carefully. What is sp3 hybridized carbon? Which fulfills all the valencies with a single bond, isn't it? And also, you can connect or you can link the halogen atom with an sp2 hybridized carbon atom. What is sp2 hybridized carbon atom? The halogen atom is directly connected to a carbon-carbon double bond. So, these are the classifications. So, now we will see first classification, that is the classification based on the sp3 carbon halogen bond. Okay, we will see in detail how it goes. Okay, now the second classification is the classification based on the carbon containing sp3 carbon halogen bond. Okay, the first, in that also, the first classification is 3 types of classifications are there in sp3 carbon halogen atom. Hope you understood what I mean sp3. sp3 is nothing but this carbon atom which is attached to halogen atom is in an sp3 state, which means this carbon atom is attached to all the bonds by a single bond. That's all. Okay. So, the first classification in that is alkyl halide, or you can say haloalkane. We already said in monohalogen derivative, the general formula will be CnH2n plus 1x, isn't it? So, in monohalogen derivative, this formula applies, that is CnH2n plus 1x. Only in monohalogen derivative, this applies. Okay, and this is called as haloalkane. Now, see, for example, in the alkyl halide, that is a common name, or IUPAC name, we call it as haloalkanes. Now, in this haloalkanes or alkyl halides, there are mainly 3 types of classifications are still there. First is, that means that how the halogen atom is attached to that carbon atom. And that carbon atom is in an sp3 hybridized state. There can be 3 ways. One is the halogen atom, for example, if you say the halogen atom, for example, X, you say X. It can be fluorine, chlorine, bromine or iodine. Now, here it comes, there is a carbon atom, isn't it? We are talking about CX bond. And you also know that this carbon atom is in an sp3 hybridized state, which means all these are connected by single bonds, right? Okay. In this also, you can have further classification as this halogen atom can be attached to a primary carbon atom. You know what is primary, secondary and tertiary? We have studied. Primary means, what is primary? CH2 group is primary, isn't it? CH2 group. What is secondary? CH group is secondary. And what is tertiary? C group is tertiary. You know that, isn't it? So if the halogen atom is attached to a primary carbon atom means what? It must be a CH2 group. And now see, the third three valencies are okay. The fourth valency can be anything. For example, you can say R. R can be any group, any alkyl group. R means alkyl group. We say in organic chemistry, R means any alkyl group. Or even this R can be H, isn't it? Then also it is a primary carbon atom. So this is a primary carbon atom, which means it is a CH2 group. See, CH2 group, isn't it? CH2X. So sorry, this is H. Okay. Even if it is CH3X also, this carbon atom is primary. Listen carefully. Why? Because X is okay. X can be anything. I mean, this H can be R or H anything. Never mind. But you see what is primary carbon atom? It contains a CH2 group. That is why I wrote like that. CH2X. So this is a primary carbon atom. So it is like this. You can have R also. R is any alkyl group. So you can say R. In textbook it is R. That's why I said R. H can be also right because it should contain a CH2 group. And keep in mind, since it is an sp3 hybridized carbon, all the valencies are satisfied by a single bond. Okay. Is it clear for you? Okay. So this is sp3 hybridized carbon atom, which is a direct linkage of this halogen atom. This halogen can be fluorine, chlorine, bromine or iodine. Okay, so this is the first type in alkyl halide. Okay, if you want to name it, I can name it. For example, CH3X or CH3Cl comes under this. See, the carbon atom, 3 hydrogen atom, I can replace by bonding structural, that is H, H and H. This contains CH2 group. This is a primary carbon atom. So this is chloromethane. Isn't it? That is haloalkane. Okay. So the first classification is the halogen atom attached to a primary carbon atom. And this carbon atom is an sp3 hybridized state. Is it clear? Okay. Now the second thing is, the second classification in this alkyl halide is the halogen atom is attached to a secondary carbon atom. What will be secondary carbon atom? It must be, it contains a CH group. See, the one valency contains a H group and the other can be R, any alkyl group. It must contain a CH group. So this carbon atom is a secondary carbon atom. But still this carbon atom is in sp3 hybridized state. Listen, because all these bondings are single bonded. Isn't it? So this is also an sp3 hybridized carbon atom, but the difference between this sp3 hybridized carbon atom and this sp3 hybridized carbon atom is, here the halogen atom is attached to a primary carbon atom, isn't it? And here it is attached to a secondary carbon atom, isn't it? And now tertiary carbon atom. Well, how I write tertiary carbon atom? C bond, that is CX bond, and all other are what? Alkyl groups or R groups. There cannot be a hydrogen atom in a tertiary carbon atom. See, tertiary carbon atom, all the valencies must be satisfied by an alkyl group. Alkyl group means R group. R can be anything. CH3, C2H5, C3H7, anything. Okay. So R can be any alkyl group, but this carbon atom is linked directly to a halogen atom. That is why it is an sp3 hybridized state, because all are single bond, and this is a tertiary carbon atom. Why tertiary carbon atom? It does not have any hydrogen atom directly bonded. It only have the carbon halogen bond. Clear? So once again I will tell you. First classification was the classification based on the number of halogen atom, that is monohalogen derivative, dihalogen derivative and trihalogen derivative. Up to trihalogen it is okay for you. Correct. Second classification is based on the compounds which contains carbon atom having halogen atom, but this carbon atom which is attached to the halogen atom will be in an sp3 hybridized state. Okay, you will be more familiar when we come across with the compounds. Okay, so just the classification you are seeing. Now in that also, the first is alkyl halide or haloalkanes. Okay, now the haloalkanes are further classified based on the primary, secondary and tertiary. Please note it down. The primary is CH2, secondary is CH and tertiary is C. It's very important. Okay. In many areas we will be seeing all these primary, secondary, tertiary, etc. Okay, it has got very great importance in organic chemistry. Primary, secondary, and tertiary. Okay, now hope you understood what is sp3 hybridized state and halogen. Now, is it clear? Okay. Now, can I rub this? The second classification in the compounds containing sp3x is allylic halides. Okay, first is haloalkanes. Okay, I will write here. First is haloalkanes. Okay, or alkyl halides. First classification of this. The second classification of this is allylic halides. You have to be familiar with all these terminologies. Allylic. Now, what is allylic? Listen. Allylic means, you know, the halogen atom is directly attached to a carbon atom which is an sp3. That is okay. So, I can write C and X, and here it will be what? It will be single bond, because this carbon atom must be an sp3 hybridized state. Now, allylic means what? This sp3 hybridized carbon is attached to a carbon-carbon double bond. See? Very carefully listen. This sp3 carbon, which is directly attached to a halogen atom. That is why this is sp3, isn't it? sp3. But that sp3 carbon is attached directly to a carbon-carbon double bond. So that is called as allylic halides. Allylic means not the carbon atom which is attached, but the carbon atom adjacent to that contains a double bond. You understood? What is allylic? Allylic means the carbon atom which is attached to a halogen atom, the adjacent carbon atom must be having a carbon-carbon double bond. Clear? For example, see, I can write CH2 double bond CH single bond CH2X. See? What is this? This is a primary carbon atom, isn't it? And this carbon atom is in an sp3 hybridized state, because all the 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so all the bonds are single bond. Now this is called as an allylic halide. Okay, that's a common name, not IUPAC, but generally you say it as an allylic halide. Why? Because this carbon atom which we are talking in consideration, or which is of great importance to us. Why it is important? Because this carbon atom is directly attached to a hydrogen atom. That is our concern. But allylic means what? This carbon atom which is our concern is directly attached to another carbon atom which contains a double bond. Clear? So such structures or such type of halides is called as what? Allylic halides. What is it? Allylic halides. You got it? Okay. Now, in the same way, we can have in aryl also, haloalkanes and haloarenes, we can have in this structure also. That means, if this is the carbon atom, see, this is a carbon atom which contains X, which contains our halogen atom. See, just compare with this. This is the carbon atom which is having an X, correct? And this carbon atom is directly attached to a carbon-carbon double bond. See? So, in haloarenes also you can have this type of allylic halides. Listen carefully. Allylic halides means nothing but the sp3 carbon is attached to another carbon having a carbon-carbon double bond. That's it. Okay. In haloalkanes and haloarenes, these type of structures you can see. Okay, or you will come across with this allylic halide. So whenever you talk about allylic halides, just you have to be in your mind that the carbon atom where the halogen atom is attached again to a carbon-carbon double bond. That's it. Okay, so this carbon atom is attached to a carbon-carbon double bond. You got it? That is CH2X is attached to a carbon-carbon double bond. Clear? Okay. In aryl halides also you can have the same kind of situation. That is, here we are talking about the CX bond. That is our halogen derivative. Correct? Now that carbon atom is attached to what? A carbon-carbon double bond. So these type of structures you call it as allylic halides. Got it? Okay. I am going very slow. Okay. Because you have to get that this thing. Okay. Then only your organic chemistry will be interesting. If you know what is or how you write this nomenclature, it will be very easy for you. Okay, you will love to write that. Okay. Now again, one more classification which is based on this sp3 carbon hydrogen is the third classification is benzylic halides. There are three classifications. Okay, benzylic halides. Okay, just we will study this very slowly. Okay, so just you have to know the concept. Okay, now what is benzylic halides? Benzylic halide means what? You know, it must contain a benzene ring, isn't it? It must contain a benzene ring. So I will draw the benzene ring, but you know the benzene ring, the carbon-carbon is in a double bond or sp2 hybridization. But you talk about sp3 hybridized carbon. So definitely here is what? Here is a carbon atom which is sp3 hybridized, and that is directly attached to a halogen atom. So these three types can come in what? In compounds containing sp3 carbon halogen bond. First was what? Haloalkanes or alkyl halides, that based on primary, secondary and tertiary. Second one was allylic halides. You understood what is allylic? That is, the carbon halogen bond is attached to a carbon-carbon double bond. And what is benzylic? Benzylic. You will come across very lot of examples for this benzylic. Okay. So benzylic halide means a benzene ring is there, but that is attached to a primary carbon atom and also an sp3 hybridized carbon atom. See, this both a primary carbon atom. Why a primary carbon atom? Because it contains a CH2 group. Now, why it is an sp3? Because all the bonds are single bonds. So, this is called as benzylic halides. Okay. For example, if you want an example, see, benzene, what is this? You know this is benzene, right? This is benzene. And if I simply say chlorine, you can say it is chlorobenzene. But if it is CH2Cl, it is called as benzyl chloride. That's a difference. This is chlorobenzene and this is benzyl chloride. Okay. So you will come across with it later. Okay. Then we will see that. So these are the three classifications based on the compounds containing sp3 carbon halogen bond. Clear? Okay. Now coming to the third classification. Third and the last classification. This classification of three types: haloalkanes or alkyl halides. Second is allylic halides. Remember, there will be a double bond to the carbon atom attached to the halogen, and then this is benzylic halides. Okay. Now the third and the last classification is based on the compounds containing carbon sp2 carbon halogen bonds. See, that means the halogen atom, we are studying haloalkanes, isn't it, or haloarenes. Now the halogen atom is attached to a carbon atom, and that carbon atom is in an sp2 hybridized state. And you know what is sp2 hybridized carbon? It must contain a double bond, isn't it? So you know, first one is in the last sp3 hybridization carbon, you talk about allylic carbon. Now here you will say vinylic. See, vinylic halides. Now what are vinylic halides? Vinylic halides are nothing but carbon-carbon. The halogen atom is directly attached to a carbon. which is having a double bond. That is why this carbon atom is an sp2 carbon. See, CH2 double bond CHX. 1, 2, 3, 4. Valency. Now this carbon atom, the halogen atom, see, the halogen atom, this halogen atom is attached to a carbon atom which is directly linked to a carbon-carbon double bond. So that is why you call it as vinylic halide. Whereas this carbon is attached to a carbon which contains a double bond. Then you call it as an allylic carbon or an allylic halide. But if the halogen atom is attached directly to a carbon atom which contains a double bond, that is why you call it as an sp2 hybridized carbon, isn't it? So this is called as vinylic halides. Got it? Vinylic halides. In benzene also you can have like this. In benzene also, in this structure, if we have a double bond here and if the halogen atom is directly attached to it, see, this is carbon-carbon, isn't it? Carbon-carbon double bond. And this carbon-carbon double bond, the halogen atom is directly attached to what? The carbon-carbon double bond. So that is called as vinylic halides. Got it? Vinylic halides. Okay. And in this case, one more example is there. It is called as simply aryl halides. Okay. Aryl halides. And the second is aryl halides. Aryl halides are nothing but aryl means what? Alkanes or aliphatic means alkanes. Okay, haloalkanes. Haloarenes means the compounds containing benzene ring. Okay, so aryl halides are nothing but the benzene ring, and in the benzene ring it contains a halogen atom. See, listen, this is, you know, right? This is all carbon atom, isn't it? Carbon atom. And the halogen atom is attached to a carbon atom which contains a carbon-carbon double bond, isn't it? So this is again what? An sp2 hybridized carbon atom. Okay, so this is called as aryl halides. So there are only two types in this case, that is in sp2 carbon halogen bond. One is vinylic halide. What is vinylic halide? That is the halogen atom is directly attached to a carbon atom containing a double bond. Okay, and the second is aryl halide. Aryl means simply benzene ring. In the benzene ring, a halogen atom is directly attached to a benzene ring. So there is two types. One is what? Vinylic halide. Okay, vinylic halide, and second is aryl halides. Two types in sp2CX, that is vinylic halides and aryl halides. Okay. Hope you understood the classification. Okay, just study very carefully, like where the bond comes. Okay, a little misunderstanding in the bond concept will make you wrong. Okay, so please be very careful while writing the bond. Okay. So this is the first classification. Okay, that is classification. First is based on the number of halogen atom. Second is the compounds containing sp3 carbon halogen bond. And the third classification is the compound containing sp2 carbon halogen bond. Is it clear? So now this is the classification. Just a broad classification of what? Broad classification of haloalkanes and haloarenes. Okay. Now we will come to the nomenclature. You all know how to write the nomenclature, isn't it? We will see some of it and then the rest you will do as homework. Okay. Now, nomenclature, you know what is, you know the rules of nomenclature, right? IUPAC nomenclature. IUPAC have recommended nomenclature, that is, choose the longest chain, number it according to the functional groups or priorities, then name it, then see for the lowest sum rule, isn't it? So all that taking into consideration, we will see some examples for the nomenclature. Okay. The first example, just a simple example is CH3, CH2, CH2, Br. How will you name it? CH3, CH2, CH2, Br. Okay. Now here there is a functional group, that is halogen, because we are studying haloalkanes, haloarenes. Now the halogen atom has got priority, so the numbering will be done in such a way that the halogen atom containing the carbon atom will have the lowest number. So it will be 1, 2 and 3. Isn't it? Now how you name it? You name it as, what is the IUPAC name? IUPAC name you name it as 1-bromopropane. Isn't it? 1-bromopropane. Now listen carefully how I wrote this IUPAC name for writing the IUPAC name. First you know the number you have written, and in the number and the word, that is the bromine, there must be a hyphen. Okay. If the hyphen is not there, they will cut your marks. And also the first letter must be capital, and then there must be no gap between this bromo and propane. And the propane must be small p. Some children will write propane, no? So they will write capital P. No. Only the first letter will be capital. All other letters are small letters. So that is how you write the nomenclature or IUPAC nomenclature. So this is the IUPAC nomenclature. That is 1-bromopropane. Okay. Now how will you write the common name? What is common name? How will you write the this is IUPAC name, right? This is IUPAC name. Now how will you write the common name? Common name is, since it is a straight chain, there is no branching, right? Since it's a straight chain, you call that to be a normal propane, isn't it? Normal propane. If it was CH3, listen, if it was CH3, forget this thing, if it was CH3, you can say it is normal propane or simply default propane, isn't it? There is no side chain here. Now, if it is bromine, we are coming back to the example. What will be the common name? Common name will be normal propyl bromide, isn't it? Normal propyl bromide. So what will be the common name? Normal, we write it as N, small n, listen, small n hyphen, then propyl, then bromide, isn't it? Bromide. See, this is common name and this is IUPAC name. Got it? Now we will see one more example. One more example I will give you just for your practice. Just for your practice. CH3, CH2, 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 Cl. Tell me, what is the IUPAC name? You have to number in such a way that the functional group will get the least number, isn't it? So it will be 1-chloro. C must be capital. There must be, see, here you have to be very careful how to write this thing. So 1 hyphen, then chloro, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is it? Pentane, isn't it? 1-chloropentane. What is the common name? What will be the common name? What will be the common name? Normal pentyl chloride, isn't it? Alkyl halide. Haloalkane will be the IUPAC and alkyl halide will be the common name. Listen, you got it? Alkyl halide. Write somewhere. Alkyl halide will be the common name and haloalkane will be the IUPAC name. Just scribble it somewhere. This is how the pattern goes. Okay, so do some exercise in this and just I will give you the homework. Okay, so that you can do it. Now, in the same way, this is haloalkane. If you come to haloarenes, for example, how will you write the nomenclature for haloarenes? How will you write it? Okay, before going into haloarenes, next example is CH3, CH, CH3, Cl. How will you write it? Do it. Just pause it and do it. How you will write this? Okay. Hope you have done this. Okay. How will you write? Here it is the chlorine atom. So this will be the first carbon atom and this will be the second carbon atom. Isn't it? Am I right? What about this then? How will you name the compound? Is it right? No. Choose the longest chain, isn't it? So it will be 1, 2, 3. Or you can write 1, 2, 3. Both are same. Because in the both cases, chlorine atom is in the second carbon atom. So how will you write? It will be 2 chloro. Listen. 2 chloro. 1, 2, 3. 3 is prop. Single bond. A. So it will be 2 chloropropane. Listen. So I will write 2, then hyphen, chloro, Cl, chloro, 1, 2, 3. So it is propane. See? So this is 2 chloropropane. Now, the important for this compound is, the common name is very, very important, because the common name is isopropyl chloride. See? Isopropyl chloride. What is iso group? Iso group is nothing but this group is called as iso group. Very, very important. That is CH3, CH3, CH group is called as iso group. Scribble it somewhere. That is CH3. In this way also I can write. See, this is just the same as like this. If I put like this, it will be like this. So, CH3, CH3, CH. This is a secondary carbon atom. See, CH group is called as secondary carbon atom. So, isopropyl group means it is a secondary carbon atom. So, this group is called as isopropyl group. Okay, that is very important. The common name is very important. So, that is about this nomenclature for the haloalkanes. Now we will see some of the haloarenes. Okay, some of the haloarenes. See, haloarenes means, see, benzene ring. Now if I say X, 1X, that means if it is chlorine, you will write what? You will write, what is the IUPAC? You will write chlorobenzene. Isn't it? Chlorobenzene. If it is bromine, you will write bromobenzene. Isn't it? Bromobenzene. If it is iodine, iodobenzene. Okay. So this is how in benzene ring, if a halogen atom is there, you can call that to be halobenzene. Listen, halobenzene. Okay. Now, if there are two bromine atoms, see, if there are two bromine atoms, how will you write? How will you write the IUPAC when there are two bromine atoms are there? How will you write it? How will you write? That is, then you have to number it. How will you number it? You have to number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So, you will write 1, 2, dibromo. Listen. 1, 2. Because only one bromine, it is default 1 number. But if it is two bromine are there, then you have to specify the position where the halogen atom is attached, isn't it? Otherwise, how will you know in which carbon atom it is attached? You can also say, if I number like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, I can write 1, 6 dibromo. But it is not accepted. Why? Because the bromine atoms or the halogen atoms must get the lowest number. So, you have to number it accordingly, isn't it? So, that is the rule for the nomenclature. So, if two halogen atoms are there, then you have to specify the number. So, here the IUPAC will be 1, 2 dibromo. Now, listen, how will you write? Very, very important. If there are two numbers, you have to write 1, comma 2. See, if it is 3 number, again one more number, again put 1 comma and write 1, 2, 3. So, 1 comma 2, then a hyphen, dibromo, the capital first letter will be capital, that is dibromo, then all others are small, dibromobenzene. See, this is how you have the nomenclature. Very important. So, if it is in the 1, 2 position. So you will say 1, 2, then hyphen, the first letter being capital. See, di, the D being capital, not bromine or benzene. No, there is no space in between also. They will cut your marks. So listen carefully. The first letter must be capital. So 1, 2, there must be a hyphen. Then the first letter be capital and then dibromobenzene. Clear? Okay. Now how will you say the common name for this compound? Common name. This is an IUPAC name, correct? Okay. But why IUPAC? Haloalkanes or haloarenes. That means haloarenes, bromobenzene, isn't it? Now what about the common name? Common name is alkyl halides, isn't it? Reverse of this. So how will you say for this the common name? It will be meta. If it is ortho. If it is in 1, 2 position, you call that position to be ortho. Ortho position. If the bromine atom is in the second position, you call it as 1, 2 position is ortho. Now 1, 3 position is meta and 1, 4 position is para. Just remember this. Okay, write it down somewhere. That is 1, 2 is ortho, 1, 3 is meta and 1, 4 is para. Now how will you now name this? How will you name this? You will name 1, 2, how will you name this? Ortho dibromopropane, isn't it? Ortho you can write a small o. See? Ortho dibromobenzene. That is, since the benzene is in 1, 2 position. Got it? Okay. Now, if the bromine is in the third position, what will be the nomenclature IUPAC? It will be 1, 3 dibromobenzene. Isn't it? And what will be the common name? 1, 3 position is meta. So meta you name it as small m. Meta dibromobenzene. Isn't it? Clear? Now if the bromine atom is in the fourth position, what is this? Then you will write, instead of 1, 3, you will write 1, 4 hyphen dibromobenzene. Clear? Or here what you write? Instead of meta, you will write para, small p. Listen, small o, small m and small p. That is para dibromobenzene. So this is the common name and this is the IUPAC name. Clear? Hope you got an idea of how to write the IUPAC name and the common name. Okay. As in the case of haloarenes as well as in the case of haloalkanes. Okay. Now one more example I will give you. So hope you are clear with this. Hope you are clear with this. Okay, just one more example I will give you. Just to give you a revision just to remember what you have studied last year also. Just that is CH3, just name it, right? CH3, 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 CH2, CH2, CH. Name it. How you name it? Just I want only the IUPAC. Okay. This you just write the IUPAC naming system. How you name it? Just pause and do it. Just 1 second you pause and do this problem. Okay. Yes. How you done? 1, 2, 3, 4. Isn't it? Now there is a chain here. 2 branches are there. So first rule is that select the longest chain. So however you select this, see 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. However in which way you select it, you will only get 4. Okay. So a straight chain you selected. Then in the third carbon atom there are 2 methyl groups. See CH3 group. CH3 group is called as methyl. If somebody doesn't know, please note it down. CH3 group is called as methyl. And CH2 group is called as methylene. Please write it down. CH3 group is called as methyl and CH2 group is called as methylene. So how will you write? You write, listen. 3, okay, comma 3. Why I put 3 comma 3? Why? Because the two CH3 groups are linked to the same third carbon atom. Okay, so 3 hyphen dimethyl. The first must be capital, that is dimethyl. Okay, dimethyl. Then how many carbon atoms longest chain? 1, 2, 3 and 4. Dimethyl butane. See? If you have any doubt, you just see this and go for this. Just see this, whether you are written it right or wrong. 3,3-dimethyl, you just number it. Okay, third carbon atom, again third carbon atom, which means that there is 2 methyl groups. That's correct. Then dimethyl, then butane, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So that is how you cross check this. Okay, so this is how you write the nomenclature. Okay, now what I want to do is, there is a table in your textbook, that means table 10.1. That is the common and the IUPAC name of some halides are given in a table. I think there are 10 or 12 examples are there. So please write today itself the table, both the IUPAC name as well as the common name for the given compounds. Okay. Hope you are clear with this nomenclature. So the next class we will see some more examples. Okay. So till then, read the textbook thoroughly, because this is the first chapter in organic chemistry. If you do this chapter very sincerely, I will tell you the organic chemistry will be very easy for you. Otherwise, it will be very difficult. Okay, so please do it. Thank you.